Hello guys, welcome back. So today we are going to be discussing a very important topic in Cairo, which is named parameters. So this is basically a way to pass down arguments using explicitly named labels without relying on the argument's position in the parameter list, right? So I've mentioned two things here. I've mentioned arguments, I've mentioned parameters. But personally, I'm also guilty of this. We programmers, we tend to use these two words interchangeably, but ideally, they actually stand for different things. So let's take, for instance, I have a function. I'm going to call it example1, and then it takes two parameters, which let's say x is of type u8 and then y is of type, let's say, u8 right? And then it takes a body and then some code here, right? So these two guys here, they are known as parameters, right? These two guys, they are parameters because they are part of the function signature. So this is the function signature and they are part of it. These are variables that are part of the function signature. So which one is now argument? So let's say I want to call this example1 and then I pass 6 and 7 here. So these two guys now becomes arguments, right? So they are quite similar, but they are not the same thing. Ideally, this is the distinction between them. But then we tend to use them interchangeably. So with this now, so why did we even come up with the whole idea of named parameters? So there's another one called positional parameters, but we are more interested in the named parameter. So why do we even find it worthy, or why do we even see it as a thing to even have named parameters or need for named parameters? So let's take, for instance, I'm going to clean this guy, and then to make more space here, so let's just have this, right? So let's say I have a function, and let's say it's main, right? And this function, it just basically does, what am I doing? Yeah, basically does a couple of things. So let's say, let's FIR, what's going on? FIRST arguments be equal to 8, and let's second arguments equal to 9. And then I want to call this example 1 using named parameters. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say example 1, and then I'm going to say x is first arg, comma, and then y is second arg, right? So this is what named parameter is like. So why this is interesting is I can decide to say y and x, and automatically this would be first arg would be used for y and second arg would be used for x. That is why it's important. And another thing again is that there's another way to write this thing. Let's say we now have x. Let x equal to 2 and let y equal to 3, right? So for me to call example 1, I can actually say because the variable in the parameter is x, and I'm having a variable here called x, instead of me trying to do x, which is more like repeating myself. Why is my marker not coming up? So I'm having x, and then having y, y, which is like repeating myself so much, I can actually have something like this. I'll just have the colon and the variable, right? So this still works. So where does this even become important? Because in the case where you're trying to maybe call a function that takes a lot of parameters or a lot of arguments, I'm not going to get. So let's say you're calling a function that takes a lot of arguments, right? And then and sometimes these arguments can be similar, it can be like felt 252 of 5 felt 252. Sometimes it becomes confusing, so you can actually single out the parameters you want to pass by naming them, right? It mustn't follow the order, but as long as it is named, the compiler knows a way of picking which one for which one. So this is one reason why it's important, because it's self-documenting in the sense that by the time you're naming your parameters, you don't need to come and add extra comments saying the first parameter is for this one, the second parameter is for this one. So it's self-documenting on the go, right? This is another reason why named parameters is something you should consider using while coding. Also, when calling libraries and external functions, name parameters comes in handy too, because some of these libraries take a whole lot of parameters and then it gets confusing even when they are now similar. So you can see the reasons for you to consider using name parameters. One, when calling libraries and external functions. Two, is self-documenting. Three, when calling a function that has so much parameters, it comes in handy. And also when calling functions that have similar types, right? So name parameters is a cool thing and it's something you should consider using in your code. And that's it for this video, and I believe we now understand what named parameters is all about. And I know that having watched this video is something you should consider using. So thank you guys for watching, and until next time, keep building and see you on the next one. Bye. Peace.